So this is a really cool resource that we found, or well, I guess we went to a session on during ASTI this year. So Amanda Adams is a tech guru, basically, in Alaska. And so this is her website. It's teachingjedi.com. And then we got to this page through the colleague resources and evaluating tech tools. So she really emphasizes having a balanced approach. So asking yourself what deepens the student experience, what improves your workflow, will it help us do something previously unimaginable, and will it preserve or enhance the human connection, which I think is very important right now, considering this territory we are in. So she provides a super handy dandy checklist. And it's 5 just different categories to consider when evaluating tools that you want to use in your classroom. And honestly, I would use this on any that we've already presented because you know your students, you know what they're capable of. So this is just a tool when you do find something new, whether we've presented on it or if you found it in your own research, to determine whether you should use it in your class.
Right. And, like we just said, we're providing a bunch of tutorials for a bunch of different tools. And, we're really excited about them. However, you may be watching the videos and realize, hey, that's probably not going to work for me, or that's not going to work for my students. Great. That's cool. You don't have to use it. You're welcome to look for other things too.
Yeah.
But this is a great checklist to where when you're trying to decide which tech tools am I going to use during this time, we highly recommend using this checklist to kind of narrow down your thoughts and narrow down, is this tool really something that's going to be beneficial for me in my class?
So the first thing to consider, especially now when the students are working from home and away from us, is how easy is it to access? So is it easy for the students to get to and sign in? Well, preferably, maybe it's something that they don't have to sign into, or it's as simple as clicking sign in with Google. Limited equipment, obviously we know they only have laptops or cell phones at home to access it, so it needs to be something that they can use on the devices that they have. Something that's free. Everything that we've presented so far is free, or they have basic accounts where you can access most of it, which is pretty much, I usually just use the free version of most of the tech tools I use.
Right.
So, and then bandwidth, make sure it's something that I guess isn't going to put a strain on their internet at home. And then over here, before we move on, she does have you look at whether it works well, whether you have minor concerns or serious concerns. And since we are doing distance learning on kind of short notice, we would maybe recommend, if you have serious concerns or even minor concerns, depending on the category, perhaps nix that tool and find something else. Because I know Amanda Adams in her presentation said that if you have concerns over any tool, there's probably something out there that does what you want and it does it better, or it does it the way that you want it to.
Right. So in her session, she mentioned if there are any serious concerns, you probably just don't want to use that tool. We are recommending for this distance learning, if you have minor concerns, unless they're concerns that you think will still make everything, work okay, go for it. But if you notice minor or serious concerns, we'd say, hey, maybe you should check out some other tools and see what you can find.
So, but yeah, ease of access is definitely important to consider. And then strong usability. So it's user-friendly. The students are able, once they do get logged in, how easy is it for them to navigate and to learn how to use? And she emphasized too, it needs to be easy for everyone. So make sure you take all of your students into consideration as you do when looking at online tools. And again, maybe make sure it works on multiple devices because we don't know exactly what our students have to work on at home. And hypermediality, that they are able to, they can listen, they can read, they can do multiple, things, or it reaches multiple styles of learning. And also tutorials. We're making all these tutorials for the tech tools. A lot of them come with their own tutorials. So that would be a super helpful for students using new online tools if they were able to also see tutorials.
Right. And, we've been asked to make these tutorials, and we're focusing on more personalized for our district.
Mhm.
But if you still have questions that we haven't answered in our tutorials, there are so many tutorials out in the world for everything. So you can ask specific questions, and there's probably a tutorial for that too. So that's definitely something to keep in mind.
So the next thing is the privacy guidelines on the tools that you're using. This one, she did say if you have even minor or serious concerns, definitely move on, find something else. So you do want to make sure that whatever tool you're using protects their personal data, that they retain the right to, maybe if it's something where they're creating, that they retain the right to whatever content your students create, that they can save it or export the data. Excuse me, and that they have appropriate access to the content on that tool. So again, if you have, if it works well, awesome, check going down the checklist. Minor or major concerns, find something else.
Probably
something else exists. All right. Supports instruction. This is, I think, even more important now that we're working remotely. It's fun. It should be fun if it meets all the other criteria. Like, you want a tool that's going to be fun and engaging, and especially engaging on multiple levels of learning, and that it aligns to your instruction strategies, which, again, we're teaching remotely, so that, it might be something that doesn't align to your instruction strategy. As long as it meets all the other criteria, it might be something to try.
Right.
And then maybe it does redefine the task that you're asking them to do, and promotes higher order thinking. Yes, thank you. Because again, we don't, we're away from our students for a whole week. We should be still able to give them assignments that promote that higher order thinking, and using these online tools to do it. And then lastly, whatever tech tool you're looking at should improve your workflow. Which means it does work on all systems, all of your devices. No downloads or installs. I think that's going to be a huge one. Right. We don't want students downloading a ton of stuff onto their devices. Easily shareable, offers collaboration. This is something that I think, especially at the middle school, we want to maybe work on, is how we can have our students collaborate with each other, but also as a staff too. Integrates with other tools. And perhaps there's no similar tool to it. So if it meets all of these requirements, if it works well for all 5 of those categories, we say go for it. Try something new.
And once again, we can download a version of this checklist for you. But if you are interested in reading more information about it, once again, to get there, you are going to teachingjedi.com. You are going under colleague resources and evaluating tech tools. Amanda Adams is great, and we highly recommend checking out her stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Let us know if you have any questions.